Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Laurie. I live in northern Utah in gardening zone 7A. Now I used to say 7B, but I've done a little research and I've realized that when they made the change, I believe it was this year, that our gardening zone did not change and we are still 7A. So that was good to find out. So from here on out, I'll be saying 7A. But welcome to my backyard. I'm going to give you guys a little gardening tour, and I have a new microphone and that's really nice to have because I feel like it reduces some of the outside noise. I'm going to take you on a garden tour for September. It's the very end of September and there's a lot of changes that I've made in the garden, so it's really nice. I'm preparing for fall. Even though it was 90 again today and 90 tomorrow, it's gonna cool off. Typical Utah, some days it's hot and then it gets cooler and then it's hot again and then it's cooler, so we're kind of used to it. But anyway, let's turn the camera around and show you what we have going on in my garden for September. So I'm going to start out looking at my baskets. Hopefully you can see them. We might be able to see them when the sun goes down a little bit more, but they're looking really nice and full. I love that they're still going since April. I mean, how many months is that? So many months, and I just love hanging baskets so much. I would take you up on my deck because I planted some pansies and beautiful fall things in my pots up there under my hanging baskets, but I don't think that video is going to go up before this one, so I'm going to save that as a surprise. So we won't be going up there today. You'll see that in a couple videos, but let's go along the creek and we'll start there. The waterfall is flowing at a nice rate. I love it in the fall because they usually let more water down and it's just really nice. So these vivid orchid hoopla, something like that. They've done their best they could. This is a really hard spot and I think they're so beautiful. I'll definitely plant them again, but I'll put them in a spot that has better soil. I just thought I'd trial them out here and see how they did, and they did pretty good, especially since the last month. I haven't really done any fertilizing just because we're nearing the end of the season and I didn't want to waste it. But anyway, such a beautiful flower. I will definitely be planting this again in a better spot. So that's what we have there. So let's walk along the creek here. It's so beautiful with the sun shining through. I have those lantana here. They didn't do quite as awesome as I wanted them to do. But that's okay. I did move some plants. I had spaced out some veronica that were here and I bunched them all up together, and they're going to be so much better. They're a little tired because it's the end of the season and they need to be watered, and it was 90 degrees today, but I think they're going to be so pretty as a big bunch right here. And then we have some sprinkling issues to fix, so I'm not going to go over this area too much. And some things I'm going to change. We're just going to highlight what's going well right now. These coneflowers that I planted here, some of them have struggled. This area is really hard and some of them have done okay. So we'll see how they do, but the grass is just beautiful and I absolutely love this grass. It's so pretty around this tree trunk and I'm definitely looking forward to having that come back, and especially these light pill threadleaf coreopsis. And I'm getting a little bit of show from the cat's pajamas nepeta. And we'll look at this other part when we walk up around the top, but let's continue along the creek. Not much else to see here. Got some ferns here that are doing okay. You can tell the one that gets more water than this one, and I did want to try out some impatiens this year. I haven't given them any extra attention and these are the only ones that survived and they're doing okay. This soil is not the greatest too. Eventually we'll get there with the amending, but this ajuga is filling in nicely. One of my favorite ground covers. So beautiful, and I think next year it will be even more full. And I'm getting some beautiful soft pink flowers from this heuchera. I'm not sure what variety this is, but I love those pink flowers. I'll put it on the screen if I still have the tag. I'm gonna come in here yet still and divide out this lamium and move it in other parts of my yard, as well as my hostas. I'm gonna come in and split them. That is the last thing that I have to do on my list besides planting bulbs. So that will get done here pretty soon. But this forest area is filling in. It's becoming a little more green as that vinca minor fills in. And I'm even getting a few blooms from the vinca minor that I will show you here. They just kind of sporadically bloom and they're so pretty, these kind of purpley blue flowers. Wasn't able to get my hands on some more of these black forest cake heuchera, but hopefully in the spring I'll get some more. I definitely want to do big groupings. I planted these Monrovia Sunseekers Rainbow, and they're beautiful. I have loved them. I even came in and planted a few more. They're not doing as hot for some reason as these. I love them so much that I went back to the store and there was more, and I was like, yep, I'm grabbing them. I just want a huge mass right here. So that's exactly what I did. I transplanted this aster, took one out because I wasn't loving it, and cut them down because they were dead, but they were flushing back. So I'm gonna give them a chance and see how they do for me next year. It will be nice just to have something filling in this area. And you can see in the base, they're really flushing back. Those plants sure are hardy, man. I will show you them probably in my front yard garden tour. Another one of them that just does amazing, and you don't have to do anything to them. Not my favorite flower, but they definitely work hard. Chetski Gold bush up there is amazing. I love it. See that bright green that it gives? So fun, and I'm getting a hint of that opalescence phlox up there that we can probably see when we're up on top of the creek. But anyway, the liriope is blooming. This is the time of year we get these blooms. They have these white bloom stalks. My old ones got some white in them. I read that that's kind of a fungus, so hopefully that will resolve itself over the winter. I don't know. The new growth coming in is fine. Can't believe these pansies have lasted all summer long. They are looking a little sad and tired, but I'm hoping they really perk up as we get cooler, because we really haven't gotten cool enough quite yet. So anyway, I'm really happy with this area. Like I mentioned, I'm going to come in with the hostas and split them and get them in little bunches of their own kind, and that's going to be really, really nice. And I was thinking the other day, I love this Brenneris so much. I want to come in and just circle it around this tree. I think that will be so pretty to fill that in. So that's my plan with the Brennera. Okay, let's walk along. Look how beautiful that light is on these birch trees. I just cannot wait till these get big. These are I think they're called the paperleaf birch, when they're starting to finally have a white trunk as they peel this back, and I'm so excited. So gorgeous. I love birch trees. As we're nearing the end of the season, we're gonna say goodbye to these Super Tunia bubblegums. I have not fertilized these for a month, and they're still doing pretty good. Not as good as they have been during the summer, but they've been doing really, really awesome. Of course, such an amazing plant. And one of my new favorite plants is this Mizu from Proven Winners, and it is amazing. I love this so much. I think I'm going to have this hanging over my wall every year. It's just been one of my favorites, and they have these tiny pink flowers that come on them, almost red. So beautiful. But this wall's been fun. One thing I do want to do next year is maybe get some darker sweet potato vine, because I have a lot of green and I just think that dark color will be super, super nice. I also came in here and planted a bunch of Hakonakloa, or Japanese grass. Look how beautiful and stunning this is. So this should fill in this whole area. I definitely want to add more. It is a plant that is a little bit more expensive, I found, but definitely worth it. And hopefully I can split it later. I need to read up on that. Okay, so this is probably going to be the last time we see this beautiful ledge looking like this for this season. I came in here and transplanted these Limelight Prime hydrangeas. That one is struggling. This one's doing well. I'm not sure why that one's struggling. That's where my tree died, but there was a cage in there, so I assumed my tree died because of that. But maybe this area just has a hard time. I'm not sure, but it's fighting its way back. So I'm just praying that next year we'll have some growth. I think it'll be fine. I might just have to nurse it back to help. But these Helen Bonstein's lamb's ear are amazing, and I split this earlier too, and I'm just gonna continue to do that. I have some that I split and added down there as well, and they're growing back really, really nice. One thing I also love is this plumbago. I had meant to plant more, and maybe I'll get some and plop it in and get it starting this fall. It's not too hard to plant. It's such a beautiful ground cover, and I think it's gonna look so pretty with these Limelight Primes if they survive. And so I think I do want to kind of fill in this area too, even though the Vinca minor is in here as well. I want to try that out. Okay, so let's go up here on the top. I have some new pots by my shed, and it's all decked out for fall, and I think I'm not going to show you that because I have a video of me doing that transformation, and that's probably not going to get up before this, but we'll see. Another one of my favorite plants is this Monrovia brand, and yes, the Monrovia brand is the best. Gomphrena, I just really like it. It has beautiful purple flowers that start out round like this one, And then as we near fall, they dry out and get more looking like this. Let's see, this one's prettier. And they get a little bit of brown on them, and they're so stunning. So stunning. Love it so much. My zinnias that I sowed in July are just tall and beautiful. This is not doing so hot, but this Sun-credible sunflower is obviously incredible, and I'm definitely going to plant that again next year. Let's get a look up on the top. Another one of my favorite combos is this Nephophia, along with that Russian sage. So beautiful. I had one die, but I had 2 survive. I'll come in the spring and probably plant another one because I definitely want 3 here. But this Russian sage has just done so well in this spot, which is awesome because I wasn't sure how it was going to do, but it's just amazing. You can see the bees on there working away. They just love this plant. And my Rose of Sharon has done really well. It seems like it might be struggling a little bit right now. I might have to look into that, but it's given us a few more blooms. Here's one that's open right now. Such a beautiful color. Obviously I love this color. I have it in a lot of areas in my yard, but this Cobalt Superbena is amazing, you guys. I definitely need to plant it with something a little more vigorous next year because the geraniums back here and these, well, I can't remember what these are called, could not keep up, but they're in there. But man, I just love this pop of purple, and I'm just gonna leave this up. I probably won't decorate this for fall, but I'm gonna leave it up for now. So beautiful. Sneak peek at some pumpkins over there, but I'm not gonna show you that exactly right now. Okay, so see those beautiful sunflowers? Love it so much. Love my peach tree. I'm kind of remembering that it does change a little bit of color in the fall, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's just barely starting to change. And here are those beautiful zinnias. So pretty, all the colors. One of my favorite flowers for sure. I think next year I might just do zinnias in here. We'll see. I don't know. I got to make a plan this winter. And look at that. Look at that view. My incredible hydrangeas definitely suffered. You can see which ones definitely had a hard time in the full sun. This tree that died here was intended to cover those, and yeah, anyway, hopefully when this pear tree gets taller, it'll provide them a little more shade because they did struggle a little bit. So there's one thing I wanted to point out here too. I have 2 different varieties of boxwoods. These are a lot lighter and the other ones are a lot of a deeper green, and they turn kind of bronze in the winter. And I thought it wouldn't matter that they're different, but I'm kind of finding it does. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I can probably move these into other parts of my yard, but I'm not going to deal with it right now. I do need to come in here and pull out all these, plant a few bulbs, trim up these boxwoods. It's almost time to do that. So let's get one last look. You can see these incredible hydrangeas did a little bit better over here where they had a little bit more shade in the afternoon. They're still pretty though, even dried out, but I think next year they'll even be stronger. Okay, so we're gonna move on to here. My hibiscus is ending its life. Well, it's going into dormancy, I hope. I don't know, I don't remember my other one turning orange like that. I need to do some research, or it might just be kind of dry. Not sure. But let's talk about this fall blooming plant. This is bluebeard, beard tongue, something like that. But it is very cool. I love it. It blooms in the fall and it has these cool spirals. I'm trying to show you some that have, it's got like 3 tiers and it's just so cute. I love it. So that's a fun fall plant, and I love it next to this blue fescue. So cute. Do not love my yarrow. Probably gonna get rid of that next year, I'm not lying. I cut back these serendipity alliums and I was a little impatient. I probably could have been a little more patient and made them look better, but it's okay. I'm getting tired. It's the end of the season. I just wanted to show you this because it's still looking pretty good. Not much is blooming, but I did plant some new campanula in here that I've also been loving. Can't wait to see that in the spring. That's going to be fun. There's another one here and another one here. Not much else to see here. Okay, let's move down here along the creek because it's still a little sunny up there. Love this area so much, you guys. This spearmint heuchera from Proven Winners is amazing. I love the color of it so much. Oh, and I love it next to this yew. It's going to be so pretty. This coleus will die out. I love this combination of colors. So you got like bright green, the dark green, and then the blue toned green here. So pretty with the lamium down in the back. So gorgeous. Everything's getting settled in, which is nice because winter's coming. Okay, not much new here in this area, but this area has quite a few new things. Some more heucherella and heuchera from Proven Winners that I came in here and planted. And I love that this is all different colored foliage and it's just beautiful. I have a little bit of evergreen interest in here with the boxwood, which will be nice this winter. It'll be nice to do some garden tours this winter to see what spots I need to fill in more for winter, because I definitely have a lot of areas that need it. I was also thinking that I need to add a little more winter interest in this area because it is just a barren hill. But that vinca minor actually is an evergreen, so we'll see how it looks this winter. It probably just needs to fill in and it'll be just fine. But I'm loving the variety of colors in here. I can't remember the exact names. I'll try to put them all on the screen. This green one with the purple next to this barberry bush, so stunning. This is the spearmint, and I can't remember the name of this one, but it's probably one of my favorites. Look at all the color variation in there. So gorgeous. I think the heucherellas get a little bit larger as well, and I just love them. Okay, so I'm going to show you here one of my favorite roses. Look how crazy this has gotten. I should have come back here and cut them back probably about a month ago, but I waited too long and it was too late. And now I don't want to cut them because we're so close to our frost. We're probably like 3 weeks away, maybe 4, probably 3. And so if I cut them now, they're going to have new growth and then it's just going to die. And so I'm just letting them go for now. And then as soon as we get our first frost, I'm going to come in here and cut back anything that's willy-nilly or big and long, because when winter comes and it snows, I don't want the snow to weigh it down and break any branches. And then I'll do my really hard cut back in the spring, but that's what I do for my roses. And so that's what I'm waiting for. So this one got a little crazy. It's kind of like cousin it. So anyway, but it's still giving me beautiful blooms. Look at this, you guys. Oh my gosh, so stunning. Lady of Shalott. Love it. And this lavender has been blooming all summer. I'm not even kidding, it's done so well. I will come back this fall and cut all these back so they don't get woody. That is a trick with those. Look at that though. Oh my goodness. I love this rose. I wish I had more pretty blooms to show you. There's a few. Here, let's see. Here's another one. Oh, the hint of pink with the orange is just my favorite. Nothing beats this rose. We're gonna have more blooms too. I've got a lot of these buds, so we'll see quite a few flowers before the season's over, but I'm not gonna touch it for now, like I mentioned. Okay, this is where we ripped out that knockout rose. I'm happy it's gone. I need to make a plan about what I'm gonna put here. I like that this is flanking the stairs with the lamb's ear. Looks so nice. So yeah, we'll need to figure out this area. If you have any suggestions, I want something evergreen. Maybe boxwoods? I don't know. We'll see. I've also really enjoyed this ageratum and these African daisies. Even though I kind of don't like them, I probably won't plant them again. The color's been really nice and pretty because they're a little bit of a more pale yellow, which I like. And this dianthus is giving these nice white blooms right now, so that's really nice to have just a little bit of change, something a little different than we've had before, and it's just really pretty right here. I might move these dianthus other places. I need to make a plan for this area. I might change it up. I have lots of ideas in my head. So we have the lamb's ear here along my steps down here to the lower portion of my yard, and I love how it hangs over these rocks. It's really been a nice plant for me, even though it gets a little out of control, and I don't like the blooms that I have to cut back, but look how pretty that is. And so I love this salvia also. I don't get a huge second flush from it, but I do like the foliage that it gives here in this corner. I think it's a perfect spot for it, so I'm really happy with it. These are my geraniums that have done amazing. Love them so much. There's Maverick Pink, or the light pink ones, the darker ones I got from Costco. I'm not exactly sure which variety they are, but I have loved them. They're kind of like a red leaning pink. And then I came in here and pulled about half of them out. So quite a few, in preparation for fall and for spring, because here in our area, if you plant pansies in the fall, they come back like 3 times the size in spring, and you'll even get some color. If the snow's not covering them, you'll be able to see them, and they have blooms on them, and they just make me happy in the fall. So I'm always going to be planting them, and even the winter they make me happy. So I came in here and planted those throughout here. I'm excited what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in here and plant some bulbs, and that video will be coming up in a couple weeks, probably 3 or 4 weeks actually, before I get to it, before it cools down enough. And yeah, it'll be a beautiful show that I'm excited to see. So that's a nice little change that we've had in this area here. So love these geraniums. I am going to try this year to overwinter these geraniums in my storage room. I already did pot some up, if you watched that video where I potted up some geraniums as well. So hopefully they do well. I'm going to take those in my house for the winter. That's another way you can overwinter geraniums. And they're struggling a little bit right now just because it's been 90 degrees. Didn't know it was going to get that hot. And we'll see how they do. Hopefully they'll bounce back, but I'm just going to leave them out here and at least try it, and if it doesn't work, that's okay. I'm not afraid to try. So those are stunning, stunning, stunning. I love the geraniums. Okay, let's walk over here and take a look at this. I came in here and took out the star jasmine because it's just probably not going to survive another winter, and I'm trying to really train this ivy up this trellis that I have put on here in my cement wall. And I came in here and planted some yellow and some purpley blue. Love that color. Pansies in here, and I just wanted something bright and happy for us in the winter, because when we sit in the hot tub right here, we can see this, and it's full of color all winter long, and it just makes me happy. And then in the spring, these get massive and so beautiful, and so I'm definitely looking forward to that. So came in here and planted all those. I had purple and yellow flowers in here before and wanted to continue that on. So yeah, I love that combination. It really does just make me happy. So pretty. Okay, the sun's gone in this area, so let's take a look at this fireplace bed. Lots of green. I need to get definitely more summer interest in here next year. This is all spring interest that just stays green in the summer and fall. And a few annuals that I have in there. The Supertunia bubblegum. This is part sun, so they don't do super awesome, but I like they have given me some color. One thing that I have planted new in here that I didn't film was this blue carpet. Put the name on the screen, but I'm so excited. This will stay really low, like 3 inches high, I think is what it gets, and it should fill in all this area around this tree. And this is one that you can kind of cut back because it has these long stems, and you can kind of control how big it gets. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. That's one of my favorite things that I planted this fall. So not much to see here. Let's go over to this bed. Lots of pink happening here, which is something to think about, especially for fall. Look at that sedum. That's the Proven Winners sedum, and I love it so much, that beautiful color. It's definitely a softer, more fall pink, and it is kind of interesting next to this Supertunia. Last year I had Jazzberry, and it really was kind of not good together. I like that it looks a little better with the bubblegum, but I'm gonna think about that and try to put something here that might look a little better when that turns pink, because it definitely changes. But look how pretty the Supertunia bubblegum is with the Superbina pink cashmere. So pretty. Love this one. It definitely has some lulls in its blooms, but it definitely is a showstopper when it's fully blooming. I also came in here and planted these. These are the Boom Chocolata geraniums. They're small now, kind of hard to see because they're dark, but as soon as they get big, they're going to fill in this area and give a little bit of purple interest, so I'm so glad that we added those. And the Senecio is doing beautifully too. Love that plant as well. Everything's kind of gone to sleep over here. I did leave the Serendipity Allium spent blooms up just because I do think they add a little fun interest in the fall. So I left those up to kind of see what I liked better. Let's come along here and look at these Superbina pink cashmere, because I will actually insert a video of these blooming the same time as this Atlas Rose, because it really was so pretty with that orange and pink, and that was the vision that I had, but they never seem to be quite blooming at the same time. And honestly, this soil needs to be amended. I need to add a lot of compost here to let sit during the winter because these Atlas roses are kind of struggling, I think, because of the soil. So they didn't bloom quite as much as I wanted them to. It looks like I'm gonna get another bloom out of them in the next couple weeks because there's a lot of buds, but the timing just didn't ever work out right with the pink cashmere, but you can kind of see how pretty that is. Like I said, I like orange and pink together. It's one of my favorite combos. So that's been really, really nice too. And then next year, looks so bad back here. I want to focus on making this really nice back here. So hopefully we'll get to that project. I don't know, that's going to cost some money. So we'll see what we can do. There's a lot of projects that I have in mind and I kind of have to pick one. Let's get a little closer to these. I'm going to climb up these rocks here and show you this Spirea. Look how beautiful this changes color in the fall and gives this gorgeous color, and it's so pretty against that purple of the Nepeta. I love Gara. Look how pretty this Gara is here, but there's a lot of places I have it that I don't love it. It definitely needs to be set back and just add a little bit of frilly amongst the flowers, and that's what it does here. But on the edge over here, it doesn't have the same effect. So I'm gonna see about that next time. Look at this penstemon. So pretty. So much pink going on. I'm okay with that. Maybe not as much next year, but love this penstemon. So pretty. And this ground cover lamb's ear is really fun too. Okay, let's go on up here and look at the rest of things. My peonies are kind of slowing down. I did plant an extra one here too, so excited about that next spring. Spireas are starting to change color. Look at that. Oh my goodness, so pretty. I planted a barberry in here too and it was half dead, but it's flushing back to life. That adds more purple. I love how the peonies kind of add a little color too. And then some more sedum kind of scattered throughout here as well. Okay, now we have my Gertrude Jekyll roses. These were bare root roses. They were slow starters. They get part sun here and they've actually done pretty well. Not as well as some in front that have gotten more sun, but I think they're gonna be okay. Don't have any blooms to show you right now. I've got another bud, so I'm gonna get at least one more rose out of that. Really pretty. I'm excited to have the winter interests of these dogwood branches here. Not quite big, but it'll be a little bit of interest. This Gara is very, very interesting. It takes a while to get going, and it might be the fact that it's in part sun. It doesn't get a ton of sun, but it also has some of these crazy long stems and some that are short. And so it's really interesting, but my idea was to have it here. Watch out, Piper. Watch out. Come here. My idea was to have it intermixed with this hydrangea. Girl. And it kind of has. So look how pretty that is. But that's the idea. So I'm going to leave him there. I was going to move him, but she's onto something. Huh. Okay, move along. But yeah, I like that them intermixed together, but maybe next year they'll be a little better. Love this. I think this is a Limelight Tidbit. I think it's like the smaller version of the Limelight. I like these better than Limelight Prime because the blooms are brighter and bigger and fluffier. So definitely my favorite. Let's look over into this area. Not much to see back here, honestly. The ajuga is just turning darker purple, which I love in the spring, especially against that hosta there with the lady's mantle. These are putting on their blooms for early spring. This is heather, and it'll have bright fuchsia blooms. So everything's just kind of happy back here. And you can see this hydrangea is getting that pink hint of color as we turn cooler. So that's really, really fun. So pretty. I don't have the heart to cut them. Maybe when I have a few more, but I just love having them in my yard. Don't really like cutting them. I have this is like burgundy glow ajuga, and then this looks like the chocolate chip ajuga, which is interesting because I didn't plant it here, so I'm not sure about that. Maybe it's just a new growth of it. We'll see what happens with it. And then my delphinium is going to bloom again, and I'm so happy. I did learn about delphinium this year is that right when it's done blooming, you cut it all the way down. And I didn't, so I think it didn't put as much energy into its second flush that it gives you in the fall. And so it just has a small one. But next year, I'm definitely gonna do that, and I think I'll have more luck with it, and I'll probably wanna plant a few more in here. One of my favorite flowers. There's nothing quite like this flower. It gives the brightest blue, but it's gorgeous. One flower that I'm considering getting rid of is this pincushion. They're so pretty, but look, we don't get powdery mildew here very often. We have a very dry, arid climate, except now that we live down by the creek, I've noticed we get a little bit more, but these just have it, and I just can't get rid of it. It's terrible. And it kind of died back and then flushed back, so this might be a plant that I am just done with. I just want something in here that's going to be reliable, and this one, yeah, just not super happy with it. Last few remaining blooms from the Luminary Opalescent Phlox. It bloomed all summer long. Love that plant so much. I guess it started in July and then has been blooming for a few months. Then I'm gonna leave these cone flowers up for the birds. There's a little winter interest. I know they turn black, but I kind of like that in winter with the snow on them. They're gonna be cute. And this Queen Nectarine Hummingbird Mint is a stunner. Needs hardly anything. It did need some iron, but other than that, it's doing great. This is doing great too. Probably should have come and cut back those little balls, but they're kind of cute too. So I didn't mess with them too much this year. Lupine is done with its show, but look how pretty the leaves are there. Okay, so I think that covers the entire backyard. I hope you guys enjoyed that tour. I'm definitely going to do an October tour. I don't know how many winter tours I will do. It might not be too interesting, but we'll see. I was thinking about that the other day. But thanks so much for joining me as I polish my garden, and I hope I've inspired you to polish your garden too. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.